We're going to talk about the gospel today. We're going to talk about the difference between good shepherds, good Christians, and what God has to say about it. I'm going to go through Jeremiah 23, the beginning portion. As you can see, it's already here up on the screen. I'm using the World English Bible. That's the one that I like to use. And so we're going to go through this. You can also go down to the description below and read some more, some things that I'm going through and could use some help in. And anyways, let's get right into it. Woe to the shepherds who destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, says Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh, the God of Israel, says against the shepherds who feed my people, you have scattered my flock, driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit on you the evil of your doings, says Yahweh. Well, that's not very good. He's saying woe. Woe to the shepherds. Woe to those who claim to be pastors. Who destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. And we're not going to read through it, but further on it talks about the prophets and what are they prophesying. They're prophesying peace and safety and all that sort of stuff. And God's saying, no, that's a false prophecy. Those are false prophets, saying peace and safety. And, we have a lot of Christians, a lot of shepherds, a lot of pastors that say, hey, peace, safety, everything's going to be all right. You don't have to worry about it. You can just kick back, click your heels 3 times, and you're going to be going home. But that's not what God says. God says, in various different places, he says the student is not above the teacher. If they persecuted me, they're going to persecute you. He also says that he disciplines those he loves. Discipline. You're going to go through tough times. You're going to have to love your enemies. You're going to have enemies to love. It's not going to be easy street like all these false prophets and false pastors will prophesy. And these false Christians, they'll just say, hey, and so they scatter the sheep. They send them off and they destroy them because they don't prepare them for what God has prepared for them. They don't prepare them for Job. Job-like situations, that's reality. That's what Jesus went through. That's what Christians are called to go through. Read through the book of Job. God gives Satan permission to go after them and to test and prove, that your walk is real, that you're going to obey God. It's not just I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. No, we're called to faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's proof and evidence. It's living out the gospel message. It's not just clicking your heels 3 times and saying, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. I'm going to get heaven. I'm going to get to heaven. Oh, I believe. I believe. Well, Jesus says that, not everybody who says, Lord, Lord, in other words, not everybody that says they believe is going to make it. And the other thing, the word that is translated believe in the New Testament, that's actually the word for faith, not think. But I've talked about this in some other videos, but without going too far, let's continue on. I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries where I have driven them, and will bring them back again to their folds, and they will be fruitful and multiply. See, we're called to be fruitful and multiply, and procreation in the Christianity, making new converts. You're going to be fruitful. You're going to show forth the fruit of the Spirit. You're going to show forth God, Jesus in you, and I will set up shepherds over them who will feed them. They will no longer be afraid or dismayed, neither will any be lacking, says Yahweh. Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will raise to David a righteous branch. We're talking about Jesus here. And he will reign as king and deal wisely and will execute justice and righteousness in the land. In his days Judah will be saved and Israel will dwell safely. This is his name by which he will be called, Yahweh our righteousness. Jesus is God. Jesus is Yahweh our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that they will no more say, as Yahweh lives, who brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but as Yahweh lives, who brought up and who led the offspring of the house of Israel out of the north country and from all the countries where I had driven them. Then they will dwell in their own land. Okay, so we're Israel. The church is Israel. They're engrafted in. There's Israel, okay, but the church, the Gentiles are also engrafted in, to Israel. Now, it's not a complete replacement or anything like that, like some people will falsely go on about, but we're engrafted in. We do not support the root, but the root supports us, is what God says. And so this is talking about Israel, Israel and Judah, and the virgin daughter Israel. That's the church. That's talking about the virgin Israel that didn't have any children yet, but that was the church. And this is all prophecy of the church. There remains a veil over the heart of the readers if you don't have of the New Old Testament, if you don't have Jesus. And so, the gospel is in the Old Testament. This is awesome and amazing stuff. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Especially if you're going through tough times, because that shows that you're loved, that you're a child of God. That He loves and disciplines. He disciplines those He loves. So rejoice in this, and rejoice in Jesus and all that He's doing. And don't preach the peace and safety. Everything's going to be okay if you click your heels, and you don't have to worry, and you can just do whatever you want. That's not the gospel message. And anyways, may the Lord God bless you. Again, you can check out in the description below. There's some things that I'm dealing with that I could use some help on. If not, then God bless. May the Lord God bless you.